What if the car accident is the beginning of a new way to live your life? I know it sounds extreme, but ultimately, when something big and traumatic like a car accident happens, it's a wake-up call from the universe. It's the universe saying, wake up, whatever you're doing isn't working and it's time to change it. The reason why I'm using the example of a car accident is because a lot of people come into the studio because of these accidents, and which is good because you definitely want to go get your spine checked if you've been in an accident or know somebody who has. But ultimately, it could be any type of event that's traumatic, meaning a bad injury, maybe losing a family member, the end of a relationship. There's a wide range. And what happens with these events is that our whole life gets turned upside down. You know, we have maybe pain that we didn't used to have. We aren't able to do certain activities. We have to change our schedules. We have to change how we live. There's a variety of things. And it can be so frustrating, and you can feel helpless or anxious or depressed. And it's not necessarily pleasant, right? Although it can be a very transformative process, and eventually, ideally, you can see it as a gift. And the reason why it's a gift is because it is an opportunity to grow, change, and create a new standard to live at, a higher way of living. And it's an opportunity to bring more awareness. A lot of times when you're in an accident, you start to become more aware of your health and your body. And a lot of times you realize, oh, even before the accident, I was all out of whack. And so you're finally able to give yourself the attention that you really need. A lot of times these things will bring up old patterns or old traumas or old triggers. So a lot of times when we're, growing up or just throughout our lives, we experience different events that are traumatic. It could be just something as small as like a fight with a family member, or a bad relationship, or it could be something as big as an actual abusive type trauma. And ultimately our body stores tension in response to those events, and we also neurologically develop patterns over time, and it colors how we experience the world and how we interact with people. I mean, a clear example is like, you had a really hard relationship with some person, and then after that, future relationships, you continue to treat them or act as if they would be the same as the person you dated before. So it's coloring your future relationships. And so this happens in a variety of ways. And so when you get the car accident or the big life-changing event, it gives you an opportunity to dig into those and see, how are those affecting my life, and how can I bring awareness, process them, shift them, so that I can go forward in my life and really create something better and energy rich. Also, it's an opportunity to express gratitude. A lot of times we take for granted what we have. And so like with an accident, it's a good time to express gratitude that it wasn't a life threatening accident. You lived, you survived, and some people don't. And it's a really great opportunity to express gratitude for what you have, your health, your life. You have another day, another week, another month, another year, and years to live. And that's something to celebrate, right? So there are a lot of gifts that come out of these different events. And it really helps to get network care when these things happen, because network helps facilitate this process. It helps your nervous system to process all these traumatic things. Especially if it's a recent trauma, it can really help shift things with more ease, so that it doesn't have to be such a horrible, painful process. You can actually have the strategies in your body to deal with these different stressors or traumas. And then when you have those strategies, it means that you are more prepared for when these things come along in your life. Or you're continually growing so that you're less likely to have these big life-changing things happen, or they're less likely to affect you. Hopefully you get what I mean. So ultimately, I'd like for you to think about shifting the perspective of seeing these wounds or these traumatic things as gifts, opportunities to grow, and really think back on different times where these events might have happened, and see how you can extract the gift from it. Or if you're in the midst of an accident or some injury or loss, try to see how can you make this a gift? How can you transform? Where can you make some shifts to really influence the rest of your life in a positive way? If you have any questions, please ask, and I look forward to seeing you at the studio.